What's going on, you guys? Mr. Money1235 back here yet again for another album review. Weird Al Yankovic, Mandatory Fun. I've been listening to Weird Al Yankovic for the longest damn time. He was the first artist that I ever got into all by myself. Way before Good Charlotte, way before Gorillaz, way before any of the basic bands that I consider myself to have first heard. Weird Al Yankovic was the very first artist that I ever truly loved. Granted, that sounds a little weird, getting into a parody artist when you're not even sure about the songs he's parodying. I just enjoyed the stupid lyrics as a child. My first album that I ever got from Weird Al Yankovic was Running with Scissors in 1999, and that still remains to this day one of my favorite albums of his. Now, over the years, I've collected almost all of his albums. I don't think I ever actually picked up his very first one. I think that was the only one I was missing. And once again, over the years, some of them have ended up in yard sales and, you know, just life in general just kind of scattered them everywhere and they got lost, some of them. I still have a huge stack of them that I haven't lost. I think I have like 6 of his albums still yet. And I'll probably never honestly quit listening to this guy, even though I'm significantly not listening to him as much as I used to. Straight Outta Linwood was the last album that I truly loved, because I thought Apocalypse, honestly, was a little bit disappointing. Parody-wise, not really. I mean, I really loved the Born This Way parody, the Taylor Swift parody that he had on that album, the Party in the CIA parody, that one was really funny. The only problem that I had on this album is I felt like some of the original songs weren't that great. Songs like Ringtone and CNR, I didn't think those songs were that funny, honestly. And on this album, I'm gonna be honest, things have gotten significantly better, in my opinion. There's a few duds on there, but honestly, this thing is... It's what the title says, man. This album is fun. This album is fucking fun. The flow to this album just keeps up that freaking, you know, like, yay type of, like, energy to it. It is mandatory fun. You will enjoy listening to this. One of the main singles from this album, the song Handy, is a cover of Iggy Azalea's Fancy, which is... pretty damn funny, actually. He did a song like this on the album Poodle Hat, which is another one of my favorite albums, called Hardware Store, where it's just basically a bunch of lyrics about, like, I'll do your tile and your bathroom stuff, and, you know, like, he's just a handyman. The lyrics to this song is pretty funny. I mean, it goes along with the beat to the original song really well, and I actually kind of like the original, honestly, which is weird for me to say, but I kind of like that song. The next song on this album, Lame Claim to Fame, is an original one here, and it's just talking about this guy who's like obsessed with like celebrities, and he thinks Jonah Hill is in the bathroom stall next to him. Just a whole lot of celebrity name dropping going on in this track. That's actually a pretty fun song, a really fun rock song, honestly. I love how the guitars sound on this track, and the chorus is really fun and catchy. Definitely one of my favorite original tracks on the entire album. And then the next track on the album, Foil, is a parody of Royals by Lorde, which honestly might be one of my favorite parodies on the entire album. He's talking about how he never bothers with like Tupperware containers or anything like that because he wraps up all of his leftover food in foil. And in the second verse, he keeps on going about conspiracy theories, talking about how you make those tinfoil hats to protect yourself from like alien abduction and shit like that. Just some of the lyrics in this thing just crack me up, honestly, and I think having that beat to Royals in the background for some reason just makes it funnier. The next song on this album, Sports Song, is another original. I was a little bit disappointed in this track. I appreciate the fact that he's using like a marching band. It sounds like a sports fight song the entire time. Lyrically, it's just talking about, you know, my sports team is better than yours, we're gonna kick your ass, figuratively. And yeah, it's just a sports fight song, which is kind of interesting, and I can imagine quite a few people considering this their favorite song on the album, because, I mean, you know, sports is a huge thing for some people. Maybe that's why this track is not really one of my favorites, because I don't care that much about sports, but some people, this is going to be an anthem for them, I can imagine. The next song on this album, Word Crimes, is a Blurred Lines parody. It's all about grammar Nazis on the internet. People who spell stuff wrong, or they don't put that apostrophe on the UR contraction. You know, the people like that who call out people who can't, you know, type online. It's a really interesting subject to cover, and I can imagine a whole lot of people really relating to this track, especially the people who actually do call out people on their grammar mistakes on the internet. This song is like your theme. This is like your theme song. If you're the type of person who likes to call out people and their grammar mistakes on the internet, you have found a theme song. Congratulations. It's pretty funny, an interesting subject to write about. You don't really hear that a whole lot. So I think it's really funny. Goes along great with the Blurred Lines melody. Just funny as hell. The next song, My Own Eyes, is actually a style parody. It's an original song, but he's styling it off of the music of the Foo Fighters. He's just talking about a bunch of weird shit that he sees around in life, and it's just like, what have I seen with my own eyes? It's just really, he just takes whatever he wants that sounds disturbing that you would see in life and says, my own eyes, and just the way that the guitar sounds and the way that the chorus moves, it sounds exactly like Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters. You guys will hear it, trust me. The next song on this album is The Polka, which is on every single Weird Al Yankovic album. He always makes a medley of like songs that are really popular on the radio around the few years that he makes the album. In this polka, we've got Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus, Somebody I Used to Know by Gautier, Pumped Up Kicks, Thrift Shop. There's really... It's really funny. I love the polkas on every single album. I feel like transition-wise, though, on this album, it's a little bit weaker than his last two polkas that he did. He just seems like he was singing along to one song, and then he immediately just starts singing the next one. It didn't feel as creative as his last two polkas, but it's still really awesome, and I feel like this polka could have also been maybe like a minute longer. It just feels like it just flies by too fast. I don't know. Still a great song. Still love the polkas. It's no different. Now that's what I call polka. That's the name of this one, which is cool. You know, parodying off of the name of those music CDs, obviously. The next track on this album is an original called Mission Statement, which is just a huge dud. I love it, like the guitar. I love how the guitar sounds, but his vocal delivery and what this song is about is so, like, why? Why was this on this album? I mean, like, the entire song is about, like, mission statements for, like, big business companies. It's just a bunch of business jargon that's honestly not really that funny, and I just don't know why he thought it fit on here, because this song is definitely my least favorite on the entire album. It's really a skippable track, and I feel like a whole lot of people are going to feel this way, not just me. In any case, the next track on this album is called Inactive, which is a parody of Imagine Dragons' Radioactive, which is just awesome. It's just about being a couch potato. He's really inactive, really inactive. It's funny. It's really, really funny. Not one of my favorite parodies, but I really like it a whole lot. And this is something musically Weird Al hasn't really tackled before, just the way this track kind of sounds. Of course, it's the radioactive, you know, it's the radioactive melody, it's that song, but Weird Al has never done anything that sounds so electronic and dark before, I don't think, in my opinion. Then the next song is another one of my favorite originals on this album, First World Problems, which is obviously what the title is. The lyrics are all about things that we, here in America, would consider problems. My maid is in the shower, so I can't take one right now. And when I do get in the shower, it feels cold after an hour. I don't have small enough bills for the vending machine. First world problems! Honestly, it's just fucking funny. I mean, it's just a really great song to make, especially in this world where we actually have that hashtag, in my opinion, first world problems. Then the next song you know is on here. He released a music video for it today, which is hilarious. Definitely go check out the music video. Some cameos in there that you might not expect. The song Tacky, which is a parody of Pharrell Williams' Happy. Talking about like tacky clothes, wearing like stripes and plaid shirts together, and then if I take you out on a date, I'm gonna make you pay. Just like being a tacky dresser and a tacky person. Really funny, once again, really enjoyed this track. The parodies are just spot on this album in my opinion. Then the last song is a 9-minute epic to go along with those really long songs that he has like Albuquerque and Trapped in a Drive-Thru. The song Jackson Park Express. It's a 9-minute story, which musically sounds really, really cool. It's not one of my favorite epics. Albuquerque is definitely my favorite Weird Al Yankovic song that's in this style, a really long spoken word type of story. Though this one isn't really spoken word, it is sang. But the story is like, it's a guy who's in love with this girl on like a subway or a train. And as the song goes on, you find out that the guy that he's singing about is like a hobo, like a homeless man on the subway who just stares at this girl and just thinks they have a romantic relationship, even though he's never really talked to her because he's just a homeless man on the subway who he just sees every day. But in the beginning of the song, you don't know that, and that's what kind of what makes it funny. So all in all, I think this album is a whole lot of fun. Like I said, flow-wise, the way the track listing goes, it's a whole lot of fun to listen to, which hence the album's title. There are just a few songs in there that I just don't think are as funny as he could have made them. I'm not trying to say that I could do better or anything like that. Like I said, I still really, really, really enjoy this album. I've just heard him do better. That's all I'm trying to say. Still, the album is a shit ton of fun. The parodies are freaking hilarious. I love the songs that he picked to parody, which I think is great. I think that came to us as a surprise to a whole lot of people, especially that Foil parody. I just love the hell out of that Royals parody. I think that's great. Love it, hate it, tell me what you guys think down there below, and tell me a few of your favorite Weird Al Yankovic albums. I would really love to hear that. Mr. Money 1 2 3 5, I'll see you guys.